Ladies and gentlemen, I'm meadsyreplays. Welcome back to the channel. Now in today's video we are going to look at a tier 7 heavy tank which I strongly believe could be one of the best tier 7 tanks we've ever had in Blitz. Now we're not looking at tanks like the Annihilator because obviously these are different. You know, the Annihilator, the Smasher, these are completely different. We are currently making another Smasher video because it's been such a long time since we've made a Smasher video. Now these are, you have to sort of separate these kind of tanks. The Smasher is in its own kind of league, but sort of there is a tank out there in tier 7 that, you know, that can compete against these, and it almost goes unknown even though it's been around for a very long time. It's for sale. Well, no, it's not for sale. It doesn't need to be for sale because you can get the tank at any given time because it is always in the it's there. It's always there. And it is a tech tree tank. So what are we looking at? Now, there are some tanks that it could be. You know, the Tiger 1, absolutely fantastic. Looks absolutely brilliant. Now, I wouldn't say it's this. I would go as far as to saying that the T29, when played correctly, is the all-time best tier 7. Honestly, I do believe that. Again, yes, we do have a Smasher that can be completely broken. But, you know, this can compete against a Smasher quite easily, like very easily compete against a Smasher. So your turret armor, absolutely amazing, like 279 millimeters on that turret. Very good for a tier 7 tank. And if you're up against tier 6s, there ain't going to be many tier 6s that is penning that turret. The same as your hull. Now, yeah, the hull is quite weak, but again, you come up against tier 6s and you're angling, they will struggle to penetrate you. The hull is, on paper, is just 125 millimeters. Not only that, but even the side and the rear of your turret is quite strong as well. So DPM, yes, it's not the best DPM tank at 2,104. The reload is just 8.84 seconds. So the reload is absolutely fine. The DPM is not great. I mean, it's pretty standard, to be fair, for a tier 7 heavy. Penetration, 198 on your AP, 245 on your APCR, 53 on your HE. You do, however, only have a 310 alpha. So you are going to have times where you're up against some tier 8s that can do big amount of damage, and you're doing around 270 to 280 damage in this thing. So that's the only thing, the only negative thing I can think of in the T29 is the alpha. But you've got a shorter reload to counter that, so it's not overly bad. 260 on your APCR, so again, because it is so low, 260 on your APCR, you don't really want to be shooting your APCR, only if you absolutely have to. 400 on your HE. Aim time and dispersion, as expected, it isn't great for these kind of tanks. 4.7 and 0.38 respectively. Gun depression, it does have 10 degrees of gun depression. So 10 degrees of gun depression to go with that massive amount of armor profile is very nice. Top speed is 35 kilometers per hour as well. So yeah, honestly, like, you guys might sit there and watch and think, Meadsy, you're on drugs. Like, you're talking absolute shit. But if you know how to play this tank, honestly, if you know how to play it, it is absolutely brilliant. Like, you can bounce almost anything that comes in your way. If you are in that hold down position, you can bounce almost anything. People will struggle against you. And again, if you are in a hold down position, even smashers might struggle against you. They won't be able to penetrate you with AP. They will be able to penetrate your hull at least with heat, but you go side to side, and yeah, that you might manage to get a lucky troll bounce, or well, yeah, they might just hit your tracks. What you don't want is a smasher to come up your rear, because of course, if a smasher comes up behind you, then yes, you are going to get absolutely torn apart. But even with the low alpha, because it has low reload, it honestly doesn't feel that bad. Yes, I would like to have a little bit more alpha, but of course, if you do have a little bit more alpha, you do have to lose something with that, and that will be your DPM. So the reload will go up, your alpha will go up, but I think it is perfectly acceptable how it is. I don't think they need to change the T29. Yes, it's a big ass turret. It's a big, massive turret. It is a big tank. It's not the quickest, but I don't think for what it is, I don't think it is that bad. And yeah, you guys might think I'm smoking something in saying that this, I believe, could potentially be one of the greatest, all-time greatest tier 7s in the game. And the fact that anybody can get it at any given time just makes it all better. Yes, it's not a smasher. Yes, it's not an annihilator. But you come up against a smasher or an annihilator, and you're not going to make it easy for them. You know, it's not like someone's just going to roll up in a smasher and they're going to smash you to bits. No, it's going to be hard for them to be able to kill you. As long as they don't come up at your rear, then yeah, it's not going to be easy. Unfortunately, we left this guy on just 9 AP, which really does suck. And this is where my team do start to fall apart even more. We're pretty much all, well, apart from me, we are all on low hit points. There goes the KV5. I could have done with him staying alive a little bit longer, even if it was to bring this guy down to a one-shot. But just 2 versus 2 now. I get that we are losing on supremacy points. I'm now on my own, and there's not going to be too much I can do. All I can do now at this point is just to stay alive a little bit longer. And now this Lerva, of course, he is a tier 8 tank, fantastic tank, but I still want to make it difficult for him. You know, I'm trying to get close to him. Yes, I am penetrating him, and I do sort of have to use that APCR. Unfortunately, I couldn't get the kill. Supremacy ruined it, and the last tank was AFK. If I could just manage to kill that guy, then it could have all been different. I could have actually got a really good amount of damage there, but it is what it is. I still put up a good fight, and that is against tier 8 tanks. So we're here again. We are again up against some tier 8 tanks, and we're already a tank each down. So yeah, I really enjoy playing this tank, and as I'm talking about a smasher and annihilator, yeah, the smasher just absolutely ripped into that Type 62. But yeah, I don't think it's as fun as the smasher. I'm not gonna lie. Like of course I've got the smasher, and I absolutely love the smasher. I don't think that this tank is as fun as that smasher. Of course not. But do I think it's as strong as the smasher? Yes, I do think it's as strong as a smasher. You put a smasher in front of me, then as I've just said, like, there's a high chance that I could come off the best. I'm not saying I'm the better player, but again, it all depends on what kind of player is in the smasher, of course. But yeah, if a smasher comes in front of me and I'm in my strongest position, in a hold down position on a ridge, and he can only see my turret, he's going to struggle more than I'm going to struggle. So yeah, that's why I generally think that this is the all-time best tier 7 tank. But I'd love to know your opinions. What do you guys think is the best ever, like the best ever tier 7 tank in the game? Doesn't have to be premium, and that is what I like about this. It's not a premium tank, it's a tech tree tank, and again, that is why I love it so much, because it's so strong. It's a tech tree tank, and anybody is able to get the tank. So just finishing off the game now, nothing too exciting to be fair. We have managed to bounce 660 damage. We're just going to we're not going to rush into this VK. I'd love to, because there is a lot of damage to be dealt, but I don't want to rush in too soon and then just get annihilated. So I'm just going to be a little bit patient, wait for my team. I didn't even mean to shoot that, unfortunately. Now the Progetto is pushing forward. I can then push forward and do as much damage as I possibly can before we do win on supremacy points. Now again, if you do find yourself in a position that isn't as strong for you, sort of just get close to him, you know, wiggle your tank. And I've done that, and he can manage to completely miss me somehow. Just don't make it easier for him. But yeah, I absolutely love the T29, and I do honestly think it is one of the best ever tier 7 tanks in the game. As I've said, let me know in the comments below. I'm meadsy69, and I will catch you all very soon. Bye-bye. With